Hey, what's going on, maniacs? You know who it is, Madman here. So, you know what time it is. The hair's a mess. I just stripped it. It's time to do another pomade review. I know. And as promised, the pomade that I'm doing a review on tonight. Damn, my hair. Shit's getting in my eyes. Fucking with when I can't see nothing. I can't. I'm having a fit. Anyway, on to the pomade review. The original Suavecito. That's right. As I told you guys last month, I was going to pick some of this up. As I remember correctly, I got the pomade in the mail. Was it late last month? And I've been running some tests because I've been kind of 50-50 on what I think about Suavecito's original formula. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how I run it and what I've found to work the best based off of my hair type and hairstyle and what I want to do with it. And I'll kind of tell you some of the different varied results I got by doing certain things. For any of those that are new to the channel, this is the first video you've seen. I've been using pomade for over 15 years now. I was using pomade back when it was unpopular to do so, when everybody believed pomade would make your hair fall out, and everybody would, make jokes about your head being bulletproof, and why would anybody want to wear that, before it became fashionable to do. But let me go ahead and also say I have thick wavy hair, so it's pretty out of control at times, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. But, if you know your products and you have your hair cut to style, you'd be surprised what you can do. And the products are there to aid you, It's like I get people who send me messages all the time asking about pomade advice and hairstyle advice. And I always tell them it's important that you have your hair cut to style. It starts with the haircut. And in order to know what's going to be best. Now, I personally cut my own hair. I've been doing so for years, so I have experience doing that. For those that don't, I wouldn't consider you try because you're going to make mistakes. But for others that are trying to figure out what their hair type is and how and what's going to work for it, you got to go to a master barber. Okay, go to a good barber who can cut your hair, take a look at it, and figure out what's going to work best for you. All right, that's my best advice on that. So this review has been a little while coming because I wanted to play around a little bit more with it. And I've played more with the Suavecito probably than I have with any of the other pomades. Because I've, of course, when you start mixing and trying different things, you're going to get different results. I did try running the Suavecito as a standalone, and I did not particularly like the results. When I ran it by itself, it really tightened everything up and it slicked everything, which is nice. But I started getting that, that big wall, straight up and down wall pompadour where it's just straight, and boxy looking. And that's not really what I like to sport anymore. That was cool when I was in high school and, we were trying to do the more extreme thing. But as time has gone on, I've wanted to get a little bit closer to the original pompadour look and the old style of it. And I found that running Suavecito by itself was not very viable to do. However, now a lot of you guys that follow the channel know that right now I'm still in the process of growing the sides and the back out, and they're coming in really nicely now. And I do have to say thanks to Suavecito for helping me. Everybody knows when you're growing the sides and the back out, you get them damn hairs that like to stick out, and it looks shitty, and it's a pain in the ass, So I have to say that Suavecito has definitely made that process much more tolerable because it's sticky and it's thick, so it really helps to really pull them down and keep them down. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you guys how I like to run the Suavecito, and I'll tell you a little bit why I like to do it as I'm doing it. I'm going to be running it with a base of Murray's Edgewax. If you have not seen that video, go ahead and click on the link in the description box. I'll put a card up here somewhere, and I'll also have it available to watch at the end of this video. Dig? So without further ado, let me go ahead and start getting into this and how I like to use it and why. So we're going to start off with some edgewax. Now, if any of you have seen the tutorial on the edgewax, you'll know why I like using it. I think edgewax works very, very good with the Suavecito. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a decent amount, enough to start getting the hair to be a bit sticky. I found with running edgewax and Suavecito together, you start to get a more slick and tighter type pompadour, which I really like. I'm not so much in love with the whole, you know, big tower of power wall type pompadours like I used to sport, like some of you guys have seen pictures of when I was like 15 and all that. Okay, we've got the edgewax in. I'm going to go ahead and start applying some Suavecito. And I'm not going to use a whole lot, just using a little bit. As you guys can see, I have used a ton of this stuff already, trying it and applying it in different ways and really using it to slick them hairs down. And a pain in the ass. Go ahead and start putting it in. A little bit on the top, mainly on the sides and the back. This is where the Suavecito is coming very handy for me, sides and back. Alright, we got that applied. That's all I'm going to need. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my trusty tool, the pick. I'm going to start doing it. Just like so. Now usually I have my hair a little bit more damp when I do this, because the Suavecito, since it is thick and it's sticky, it tends to want to block everything out. You know, I don't mean block things like as a block, hey, get out of the way, blocking you from coming through. I'm talking about blocking as it blocks the pompadour. It makes it look all boxy and square like a block. And that I'm not too keen on, but mixing it with the edgewax, because the edgewax does have the Murray's Australian beeswax in it, it helps to keep it more rounded, as you can see. It's not as boxy. Now the cool thing about it is it tends to keep it tighter, smaller, and rounded, which is what I'm going for. I'm going to go ahead and take my roller brush to really just kind of pull and slick them sides back into the back as well, as you can see, like so. And the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it over with the hands a little bit and make sure everything is in place the way I want it. And as you can see, it comes out looking very, very nice. Now, I'm going to tell you, this may not work for you. I don't know you, I don't know your hair type, I don't know your hair length or thickness or any of that, so I can't give you specific advice if it's going to work for you. But again, that's what experimenting is for. That's why I always tell you cats and kittens, experiment all the time. Try different combinations, try different mixtures. I found that edgewax and Suavecito, they work. As many of you know, I like to layer up my pomades. I like to have a base and a finisher. Okay, I usually don't layer it up with any more than two. Usually I have something for a base and then a finishing product. In my opinion, the Suavecito is a very, very good finishing product. It's really good for tightening up them wings and, you know, pulling that back into line. So I still keep my verdict. I am still very 50-50 on the Suavecito. Do I think it's a product that you should invest in? Sure, why not? It's worth experimenting with. You might find it works for you, maybe not the same way it works for me, but you might find that it works in a different way for you and it cures a problem that you've been having that nothing else seems to do. Now, I don't mind the water-based pomades. I think they're pretty cool. And the cool thing about it as well, when you mix it with the edgewax, it dries and it hardens, but not to the point where you can't comb it. You know, like if you were to run the Suavecito by itself, pretty much you're going to have to, you know, get some water, put it in, recomb it, apply a little more product, and try to shape it and get it back to what you want it to look like. When you mix it with edgewax, really you don't have to worry about that. Take another scoop, a little bit of the Suavecito or more of the edgewax, go ahead and glide it along the wings and all that, and make sure your hair's looking where you want it to be. Anyway, the Murray's Edgewax and the Suavecito original formula, I think, work very, very well together. Go ahead, try it, see what it does for you. If you dig it, cool. If not, you move on to something else. For those that do want to try it, they can't get the Murray's Edgewax or the Suavecito in your regular stores. I'll put links in the description below. You can click them, buy them, do whatever you want to do. It's on you. Anyway, so hopefully you've enjoyed this review / tutorial. Go ahead and favorite it, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that kind of shit. Watch it over and over again to your heart's content. Please watch it. Watch the video over and over and over. Make a religion out of it. Alright, I'm just messing with you guys. Anyway, if you don't know, get a clue, get a brew, get a rock and roll tattoo. Hang loose, be safe, and the madman is out.